Oh man, nerds. Oh man. Okay, so I need some time to decompress after that monstrosity of a stream. We're gonna be looking at Brave Heroes here. This is the trailer that they made for them. Since they're such special units, we're gonna be talking about just their plain stats and their skills right now. Give you a preview of what you're gonna be looking at, and then tomorrow, later today, I'm going to get Jay into a conversation with me, and maybe some others, and we're going to talk about which unit you should probably be rolling for, because again, all of these units, you get to have one of these fabulous ones for free. Yes, one of these units can be yours, and you just get to pick. So, oh boy. Oh god. So, again, before we start, big thank you to all 4,000 of you who tuned in with me and, had some fun with this whole thing. So, yes, let's start off by taking a look at the first unit here. As you can see, here's all the units that were selected for the Choose Your Legends one. In case you didn't know, this is Brave Heroes, Choose Your Legends, same thing. So we're going to be starting with Lucena, who is the first one. She was the second female unit. So as you can see, Lance. So, okay. First thing we need to talk about, Garskogel. That's her legendary lance weapon, grants +3 defense. That's permanent for her, which is neat. And then, as long as you're wielding the weapon, of course. But still, grants allies with sword, lance, axe, bow, and dagger within 2 spaces attack and speed +3, which basically makes this a physical attacker spur. And it's within her little threshold of 2 spaces, which means that this is going to be pretty interesting for a lot of those beefier melee units who might want to get in there and do some damage, or, some bow units who are sticking off to the sides there. So, still, Garskogel, pretty fantastic as a legendary weapon. That's really nice. Drive speed 2 grants allies within 2 spaces speed +3 during combat. I'm fairly sure that stacks with Garskogel because spurs and all that fun stuff, but still, very, very fantastic unit. Honestly, that's something you're going to notice with a lot of these characters, is that they are... Oh boy. Oh. Just give it to me. Rub it all over my face, please. Anyways.
Got a lot to offer. Her
Rub it.
Garskogel can even boost the stats of nearby allies.
Alright, so moving on from that. Thank you, Faye, by the way. You're such a cute little owl. Let me just tell you that. So here's Roy. I will point out one thing, is that all of this art, I'm fairly sure, was done by the same artist, but I could be wrong. Mostly because I'm just going to point out that his art, as you can see my little mouse cursor, is very reminiscent of the game that he was from, which is great. I really like that they added that aesthetic to it. That's fantastic. Also voicing by Ray Chase of Noctis fame from Final Fantasy 15, so there you go. Anyways, so there's Blazing Durandal. This shares the same sort of concept as Lucena in a way, but also different. Grants +3 attack, which is a permanent thing, as long as you're wielding the weapon. If unit attack is more than foes, gains special cooldown charge +1. If using other similar skill, only a higher value is applied. So basically, it's going to give your foe, from the sounds of it, an additional bump up on their charge skill, so they can't exactly use it right away. Also, Gale Force, which... I'm not really sure how well that's going to work on Roy, but for Roy, that's pretty interesting. Oh, I also forgot to mention, since we're here, actually, I think we can actually... Let me just see if I can't... I forgot to take a look at this, because I think they actually zoom out and show Lucena's stats here, but I could be wrong. Let's see. I think it was actually right over here. So let's see. As you can see right here, 41 attack. Unfortunately, we're not able to see her stats. On the other characters, we're actually going to be able to do that. At least except for the last one, from what I can tell. But still, 41 health, not too bad. And from there, let's move on to Roy. So, anyways, as you can see, Blazing Durandal, all that fun stuff, Gale Force. But mostly, what we're paying attention to here are his stats. 51 attack, that's not bad. By the looks of it, it looks like he has Desperation, possibly. Also, Armored Strike, or... I forget which one it is that is the speed and armor, by the looks of things. And, of course, he, has fairly decent speed. 34 is not bad. Defense and resistance are also fairly decent. And all in all, he seems to be I hate to say this about my boy Roy, but he's probably not the best unit out of this option, partly because we have the other two that we need to go over. And Lucena was definitely a very interesting and perplexing unit as a whole. So let's just... Not too much perplexing, but pretty interesting nonetheless. So, yeah, there we go. There's Roy. Next up, we have...
Father was an incredibly skilled horseman and a great shot with a bow.
So we have Lynn, and now this...
for the most popular woman in the poll, Lynn. She's riding into battle on horseback with a bow at her side.
Yes, that's right, friends. That's right. We finally got our horse archer. Our cavalier archer, guys. And not only that, but we also have... oh, God. So, we have Mulligar, which is... Mulligar, but what's really interesting about this is that it grants +3 speed. That's as long as you use the weapon. If foe is magic user, foe's bonuses from skills like Fortify, Rally, etc. are nullified during combat. I'm just going to repeat that. Nullified. This is basically supposed to be an anti-horse emblem unit that is on horseback, of all things. What? And that's not even including Seikei's blessing here. Seikei's? I believe that's Seikei. If foe has sword, axe, has sword, lance, or axe, foe cannot counterattack. So not only does this get rid of the bonus from, say, a horse emblem team, she also has a counter to any of the units that use distant counter. What? So effectively, she nullifies everyone. At least most of the units that would really count in the meta, quote-unquote, with their distant counters or their horse buffs or their armor buffs or their, you know, just... well, not armor, more horse or flyer. No armored mages yet, guys. Maybe in the future, but still, that's terrifying. That's absolutely... that unit right there is going to be the most terrifying I've ever thought of I could see in the game. Not only that, but as you can see, Draconic Aura as well as a weapon skill there. We'll see how well that actually works, but still, we need to take a look at her stats. So, as you can see here, 35 health, not the best, but what really matters here, 47 attack. That's fantastic. Then you add in the fact that she has 38 speed. If that is what it really is, that is going to be a very troubling unit to go up against. That is downright scary. Right there, that is horrifying. I just can't get over that. That's just terrifying. We'll get into more when she comes along, but she may very well be not only the best archer in the unit, but she is going to be the holy grail for horse emblems for a long time to run. Long time to run, long time to go. Long time coming. Can't talk right now, that's just too much.
Normally counterattack distant opponents, but
see,
Seikei's blessing prevents
yeah.
Lynn from being countered like...
See, she can just basically counter any... Oh my god. Now we have Ike, and Ike
had a strange dream.
is very interesting.
Thousands of people, and they were all saying my name.
Okay,
Last
so...
but not least, the most popular male hero, Ike.
Yay, Ike!
Is with the axe he inherited from his father, called Irvon.
So, as you can see, he has Irvon. And Ike is the other unit that we can't actually look at his stats right now because they don't effectively show it on the stream. But we do get a pretty interesting idea of what's going on. So Irvon is... It accelerates special trigger, which is great. You're going to be triggering things a lot faster, like anyone on the internet when you say a bad opinion. If the unit receives consecutive attacks, damage from second attack onward is reduced by 80%. This could effectively end a lot of quad builds. Granted, if you're using an archer against an armored unit, you're probably doing it wrong. Or at least an axe unit like him. I don't know if he's actually armored, but still. As you can see, he might be beefy as hell, and he's going to be even beefier if he does manage to hit you some more. So, yeah, well, if you do manage to hit him at all, he's going to just have that consecutive bonus. So, quad builds are going to have their problems here, and also mages may find it a bit harder to actually kill Ike, especially since right now a lot of the units that deal with Hector, red mages, Tharia, Celica, they're all about doubling, because doubling is essential to killing such beefy units like that. So if this is what it really is, that's going to be a big hit to them. You're going to have to really hard, get really hard to actually fight that back. Okay, so next up, we have the Orcs Blessing. Effective against flying and cavalry foes, units. Foes' bonuses from skills like Fortify and Rally are nullified during combat. So, again, another big stance against Flyer Emblem and Horse Emblem, or, any of that ilk. Because essentially, it's meant to try and nerf that, and that is crazy. That's just terrifying. But
and also improves his defense.
But also,
Is
Ike, of course,
everybody stop Ike?
Ike also has Aether, which makes sense. But there you guys go. There's the new heroes, the brave units, the brave heroes, the Choose Your Legends. Hope you guys are excited for that as much as I am. It comes out the 31st, also, but we do need to talk about this, which is coming up as well. As you can see, you have the option. And the really big question now is, which one will you choose? And we're going to be discussing that tomorrow. So I hope you guys will be ready. Love you guys very much. See you soon.